Ni hao YouTube, what's going on? Saarland to China. Enjoying the last beautiful days in Germany in the sun. Today I want to show you something special you probably have never ever seen if you haven't been to Germany yet. Maybe it does exist in Austria, maybe in Switzerland, but I haven't seen this thing in China before. And what this is, you will find out in this video. Enjoy!
你是我的小呀小苹果，怎么爱你都不嫌多，红红的小脸温暖我的心窝。
So today I will show you something that is so weird and so typical German that I didn't even realize it was German until I left Germany and I went to China for a couple of years. And then I came back to Germany and I was like, what the hell is this? Oh right, I forgot. This weird red machine hanging hanging at the walls in the inner cities. And that was so weird that I thought, okay, man, I really have to show you this mysterious and weird red machine hanging on the walls. No, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. That's it. The gumball machine. In German, der Kaugummiautomat. Maybe now you're like, what? Is just a typical chewing gum machine, a candy dispenser? We have this in our country as well. But let me explain to you real quick what is so special and so weird about the German chewing gum dispenser. We have all seen chewing gum dispensers or gumball machines before. Most of the time they are round, they have this round shape, and they can stand on the table, sometimes in a bar, sometimes in restaurants. But the German gumball machines, they have this kind of flat rectangle shape, and they are glued or stuck to a wall. And very often this is the wall of a standard family house or family flat. I will tell you something about this later. But also, most of the time, the color of the German chewing gum dispenser is red. Now, what else is so weird about the German Kaugummiautomat? Well, it is completely mechanic. There is absolutely no electronics involved. You put in a coin, you turn the wheel, and by this mechanism, something drops out. And most of the time, it is a really hard gumball, a chewing gumball, or a little toy. We will have a look at the stuff I got out of this machine later. Now, where in Germany can you find those chewing gum dispensers? Basically, everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. In big cities, they are stuck to those huge houses. In smaller cities, you can find them even in the smallest villages. Even the smallest villages in Germany on the countryside have these gumball machines, and you can find them everywhere because they are red. Like, you see the color immediately, right? But how would you ever be looking for a chewing gum, desperately looking for a chewing gum? This is actually not a machine for adults. Well, how do I know this? Look, this machine is hanging so low that you almost can't get a chewing gum out of it if you're an adult. It's just for kids. And let me tell you something about my childhood. When I was a kid, there was no euro yet, by the way. We were paying with a German mark. In German, it's Deutsche Mark. And then we were given once in a while by our grandparents or by our parents a small 10 pence or 10 pennies coin, which was called Groschen, der Groschen. And that was actually a lot of money back in the days. And if you got 10 of them, that was one German mark. and that was not too bad as a child. And back in the days, the chewing gum dispensers accepted 10 pence coin, ein Groschen, or 50 Pfennig, a 50 pence coin, and that was then a huge, nice present. Whereas the Groschen was just a chewing gum. So as a kid, you had like 5 or 4 of those Groschen in your pocket, super happy. What can you buy? Well, not much in the supermarket. Maybe some small chocolate bar or something like this. But once you passed a chewing gum dispenser, you desperately wanted to buy one because you had enough money to buy something interesting. And that was so interesting back in the days when you were a child, because before you turned the wheel, you never knew what would come out. Sometimes it was even a surprise. So sometimes there would be toys and candy and chewing gum together, and you had to turn the wheel in order to know what kind of surprise you will get. Then for sure, everything was colored, those bright colors, nice colored chewing gums. So there was always something mysterious about these gumball machines, in my opinion. I remember back in the days when we went there, very often when we went to a restaurant to have dinner with our parents or grandparents, your grandparents or parents would give you some pennies. And what did you do? You went out of the restaurant while waiting for the food to arrive. You went out of the restaurant, had a look around, what can you find? And the first thing you found was in your height. It was exactly your height. You looked around as a kid, and those things were hanging so low that you could see it immediately, right? And all you did immediately was running to this chewing gum dispenser and got anything out. And you thought, wow, just give me something cool, give me something cool. And it was like almost the same feeling as a treasure hunting or playing the lottery or something like this, right? You thought you could get something really cool for your little money you had back in the days. Now, actually, the taste of those chewing gums was awful, really awful. It had a taste for like, let's say 5 minutes or so, maximum 10 minutes, and then all the taste was gone. So it was really artificial. It was super sweet and colored, and it's not the typical mint chewing gum, rather the fruity one, and the taste was gone real quick. If you were lucky and you had a bit more pennies in your pocket, if you were lucky and you had a bit more in your pocket, let's say like this 50 pence coin, 50 Pfennig, then maybe you got a little toy and you were like, oh wow, look, there's so many different interesting toys in this machine. I want this toy, right? You turned the wheel and then you were like, oh, look what I got, this stupid statue or figure or something like this, right? And you wanted the nice car. So it was always something like a bit of a lottery, and it was a really interesting feeling to get something out of this gumball machines, because you never knew what would it be or how would it be, right? But it was not a huge loss. 10 pence, although it was a lot of money for a kid, you were not really disappointed or angry afterwards. But it was always something really, something very interesting as a child. Now, another interesting fact is that the owner of those gumball machines must give a little money to those people who do accept these gumball machines hanging at their houses. It's not much though, but I wonder how much money an owner of such a gumball machine is earning, and how much money the people who are actually accepting a chewing gum machine hanging at their house are earning. If any one of you knows that, put it in the comments. I think that is very interesting, but I don't think it's really much. Now, before we continue with having a look at those weird things I got out of the gumball machine there, let me tell you something about the historical background of the chewing gum machine really quick. So the first chewing gums actually came to Germany from the United States after the Second World War. This is when the first chewing gum and gumball machines in Germany were installed. But it is not a typical chewing gum, but it is this pretty hard to chew gumball. In Germany, there are around 800,000 gumball machines of this kind. They are hanging in the streets, on the houses, and then I think some of you might ask, isn't this dirty? Aren't the chewing gums and the gumballs too dirty before you chew them? And I'd say yes, kind of, because all the, let's say, environmental influence from outside, all the pollution and stuff is going into those gumball machines, at least the air. But I'd say they are well protected, and depending on the city, there is not too much pollution, I guess. So this is why maybe no one is complaining about it. And those machines are emptied every 3 to 4 months, and there is new stuff put inside. Now, another thing people might ask is that are those candy machines safe? Is it possible to get candy without putting a coin? Well, actually, they are pretty safe. I think if you're a German guy or lady listening to me, you've probably tried to break this mechanism somehow as a kid, because when we were kids we always wanted to try to get some candy and chewing gum without putting a coin, but at least me, I never got any candy without really turning the wheel. Some of us tried to put different coins from other countries, but all this did is breaking this machine, like this, for example, right? It's so stupid. Someone put another coin, a different coin, and then the whole mechanism is jammed. But I think we all did this as kids. So there is still a huge variety of those German candy machines, but the majority is red and in this rectangle shape. And I think it is something really super traditional German I have never seen before in any other country. And I must say, I just love it. I love it. I still have a look once in a while if there is new stuff you can get from it. But it is more expensive today than it was back in the days. Today, most of the time you pay with a 10-cent coin or a 20-cent coin. Most of the time it's a 20-cent coin, actually. Sometimes it's even a 50-cent coin, which is actually pretty expensive, which is a lot of money for just a very, very small toy or a chewing gum. Well, I think it's about time to have a short look at what we got there today. Let me try this one by one. Wow. This is so hard. I can't even chew it. Listen to this. Super hard. Impossible. Kind of tastes like Coca-Cola. Let's see what that is. Looks like a bracelet or what? Bad girl. Yeah, you see this size? It's definitely made for kids, not for adults. More chewing gums. Look, this chewing gum looks like an eye. I wonder how this tastes like, but I think it's just super hard. How can you chew it? This is, I guess, watermelon taste. So then we have this kind of wire here. So what is this for? I mean, the advertisement looked so cool, but I have no idea what you do with that. Do you use this for your hair or what? Then we have another chewing gum wrapped like this. And it says super acid. Crybaby super acid. We will try this. Oh, and chewing gum is getting soft again. So that was one of our toys, I guess. It's a sticky hand. You see? You can grab stuff with it. Yeah, that was a cool toy. I remember this as a kid. Oh. Then we got another thing here, which is, I think, also a sticky toy, but it was a lot cheaper. Yeah, you see? That's really small. And it's not really long. You can't do much with that. So the 50-cent one was definitely better. Now let's try this super sour candy here. Come on. This one. Oh, it's also, look, that is already looks like a really sour crushed. Wow. Oh, that is super sour. And I think right now I ruined my teeth with sugar and acid. And that's it, folks. I'm done with that. Well, I hope you learned something about this weird machine, der Kaugummiautomat. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and to give me a thumbs up. See you in the next video, guys. 再见，bye bye.
你是我的小呀小苹